right, Valkyrie down. We might be at 100 life total after this play. 14 is where we started. Let's keep that in mind, okay? That would actually be hilarious. Let's see where we end up here, though. This will be really interesting to see. Can we hit 200 life total? 171. Good game, my friend. Good game. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel today, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today, my inner toxicity got to thrive because today we got the chance to gain almost 200 life in one game. We're talking about Cleric Tribal, and we're playing it in something you might not have expected. We're playing it in the colors of ABZAN. Before, though, I break this thing down completely and get into the gameplay footage, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I just ask if you take one moment to do so. It is a free way to help support the channel, and if you hit that little notification bell, you'll be notified whenever I post a video, which is 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But there is a new set release coming out tomorrow, if you're all aware, and we're going to be posting daily content for at least a week, so make sure to have that bell turned on so you don't miss out on any future content. All right, guys, like I said, I got to explore my inner toxicity today with this list because it does some really messed up things that I'm sure upset a lot of people on the other end of the table, as you would say. It's a cleric list. Clerics tend to gain a lot of life. That's the idea behind the deck. But when you combine clerics with a very simple card like Pyre of the Heroes, it starts to get wild. It starts to get a little out of hand because there's some really crazy combos you can do with the Skyclave over here, as well as the Pyre of Heroes. The combos being that if you sacrifice a creature with the Pyre of Heroes and you go into your deck to find a creature with mana converted cost 1 or one more than the creature you sacrificed, and you got a card like the Skyclave, which reads that when a cleric dies on the battlefield, you get to bring back a cleric with lesser mana value from the graveyard to the battlefield. So how does that combo really get busted and go off? Well, let's just say we have a Valkyrie on the field, right? There's a Valkyrie on the field. There's a Skyclave on the field. And we've also got the Pyre. And then in the graveyard, lo and behold, there's another Valkyrie. Well, we could do some really crazy things like sacrifice the Skyclave with the Pyre to go find ourselves a Drana, which is a really crazy cleric in its own right. But at the same time that we're finding Drana, the ability of the Skyclave triggers, and we get to pull our Valkyrie right out of the graveyard onto the battlefield. So we sacrifice Skyclave. Now we have 2 Valkyries on the battlefield, which are triggering each other for life gain already. Then we throw a Drana on top of it to get the double life gain for both Valkyries. And there you have it. You got yourself a fully pumped up field because you know the Valkyries are going to trigger with their bonus here when you gain, when you have at least 7 or more life than your starting life. You get these pumps with the Valkyries. So things go absolutely haywire. Once that combo hits, you've pretty much won the game. There's not much you can do to come back from that. You're going to end up with like 50 plus life total and a board state with like 3 or 4 flyers that are just 10-10s. So things get really crazy really quickly. How do we get to that point, though? We have a pretty nice curve here because we have a 1-drop in the Soul Mender, which is going to gain us a little bit of life over time just by tapping it. We're not really going to use this thing to attack with. We're just really going to tap it to gain life periodically, because whenever we gain life for the first time, we trigger things like Cleric of the Lifespawn, where it gets a +1/1 counter. It also allows us to gain life when clerics enter the battlefield. So there's a nice little combo there. We've also got the Moon Dancer, which is why we're running green primarily. The Moon Dancer is going to get a 1/1 every time we gain life as well. It's also a cleric, and we get to scry, which is super helpful, especially in a deck without any card draw. So being able to scry is really helpful, especially when you're scrying like 3 times every turn. You can set up your turns really nicely. We've also got the Orator, which is also going to gain us a lot of life throughout time. And we also have 2 Skyclave Clerics, which is mostly going to act as a land, but it's a really nice cleric to just drop down and gain a lot of life off of instantly if you have excess of lands. So really nice, a healthy amount of 2-drops. And of course we went over the Pyre, and then of course we have a bunch of Righteous Valkyries, a full play set of those, and we already went over the Drana as well. Some other cards in here that are added in for a little bit of spice and fun. We've also got Cram Session, which is going to gain us 4 life like that. And you're also going to go to your sideboard, which also offers a lot of life gain. So there's some life gain there. You get to also hit your sideboards for some card advantage. And our other fun little spicy card is Pestilent Cauldron, which is also why we're running green, because there's a backside of this card that requires some green mana. Pestilent Cauldron is a way to win the game. Let's just say, I don't know, your opponent's running some crazy control deck, right? And they're just killing all of your creatures one by one by one. I've been in those matchups. It happens, those Dimir control lists, whatever it may be. Well, if you have a Pestilent Cauldron out there, you're still able to just gain life, because your deck just does that. You're going to gain life by things just hitting the battlefield. You're going to gain life over time, slowly but surely. And in that time, you're going to gain life. You get to mill your opponent out. So this is just an additional win con. If you read the second ability here on this card, it says 1 and tap. Each opponent mills cards equal to the amount of life you gained this turn. And let's just say your opponent has a really big board state and you can't exactly get all your attackers through in one turn, but you had a crazy turn where you gained 50 life, because it does happen. You could just tap this down and pay 1. You mill out your opponent's entire deck in one turn. That's why this card's in here. It's a little bit of a win more. It doesn't need to be in here. You can win. You could probably take it out and put some removal in here or something and do even better than what this deck offers. But we're all about having fun here and being creative and making decks that are original and not, you know, the same stuff you see all the time. So that's why this is in here. It's a really fun little win con addition to the deck. And then lastly, we have a Balacut Recovery. To pull things back from the graveyard, because we splash green. Why not throw one of those in there, and we can pull things back from the graveyard, because we're trying to sacrifice things as it is, you know? So a lot of synergies here. And lastly, on the sideboard here, we've got Academic Probation, 2 Environmental Sciences, which gains life and fixes mana, reduce the memory. Containment Breach, which is a really nice splash of green to get some removal off of the artifacts. Pest Summoning, and Mascot Exhibition. But that was a long explanation. I feel like it was kind of needed for this type of a deck, but we're going to get into the gameplay footage now. We'll see you guys back here at the end for some final thoughts, so stay tuned for that. Peace. All right, here we go, baby. Let's go. Playing some Clerics. I'm pretty high on the Clerics right now, just because there's some Reanimator stuff coming out that is pretty inexpensive to play with the new Innistrad set coming out. And so I think this deck could be even better than what it already has shown. So that's pretty exciting. So just want to get on top of it now, see how good it plays as we speak today. Let's see here. This is a definite keep. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to play the curve, because we have a lot of 2-drops here. So who goes first? I'm thinking Cleric of the Lifebond, because every time it enters a battle, or anytime a Cleric enters the battlefield, we gain a life and we get the 1/1. And whenever we gain life with the Moon Dancer is when it starts to go. But Balacut Recovery is a slow land, so makes things a little tricky. Either way, we go Swamp, I think. Pretty straightforward Swamp there. We got the Righteous Valkyrie too on turn 3, which is awesome. All right, we have to give up a card. I think we give up the Cleric because it's the one we are definitely not playing, right? We obviously could use it as a land, but I'm hoping, yeah, we top deck another land. Perfect. All right, let the games begin. We get the Cleric out. Let's hope it survives. It is susceptible to a lot of different removal. I highly doubt they're running any sort of like shock type effects, but no, there's I guess Dragon's Fire is a potential. This is Rakdos. It could be Goldspan. They could be running Dragon's Fire, but I'm more worried about things that okay, so they do run Frostbite. I guess I should have saw the Snowland. Fair enough. All right, here we go. Let's go with the Valkyrie. I'm actually glad, though, it was the Frostbite and not an outright kill spell. Like, I don't know, Poison the Cup, it comes to mind. Things like that, because Frostbites are no good against the Valkyrie. Hopefully the Valkyrie can stay alive long enough to gain us some value here. They main phase that. That's pretty huge. That means they're probably missing the land drops they needed. I'm sure they found it there off the top, but we'll see. Painter. So they eat a treasure to create a treasure. Wow, they did miss their land. Interesting. Going to play the Balacut Recovery. This is not an exceptional amount of life here or anything gained, but it is life gained nonetheless. And I have a pretty big body here to block with, right? So I might as well just keep it here to block. I think gaining life is more important than dealing damage right now. I think. Could be wrong. We'll find out. Opponent's name is the Rakdos Cultist. Nice. Oh, they hit me with a flunk. Oh, that's terrible, actually. But we do have the Skyclave, so I mean, we can get stuff back. So I would like to play the Moon Dancer too eventually, but it seems like it's just wasn't the hand to get it out on. All right, that's pretty cool, but not yet. Let's get this down. I think I'm just gonna hold the Soul Mender to gain us a little bit of life. Again, I'm prioritizing life gain over the dealing damage factor of things. I don't think we're going to get them dead very quickly. They've got a pretty good board here for defense with the Merchant. All right, Tibble comes down. It gets to choose one of my creatures. Not like it can cast a Drana, or Valky can't become a Drana anytime soon, so they might take the Moon Dancer, but then becoming a Moon Dancer doesn't do them any good either because their Valky's already bigger than that. I suppose Valky might have the 1/1 counter still on it if it becomes the Moon Dancer. I don't know. They attack right into my 3/3? That seems kind of weird. Oh, they must have a Frostbite, but even if they do, I'm happy to get my Valkyrie back instead. Yeah, it's Frostbite, isn't it? Yep, alright. We get our Valkyrie back though, and Valkyrie does gain us life. That's really all I care about. Alright, more land is not necessarily a bad thing if we can get the, you know, the Valky dead. Alright, we're going to gain life for this entering the battlefield, which is going to gain it a 1/1 counter, and we're also going to get to Scry, which is huge. Clerics of Life Spawn. It's not a bad card. It's really not. I would like to see something better, but it's not a bad card. Alright, do we get in now for some damage? I think we do. A 3/3 is a pretty hefty hitter, and the fact that it can get... No, it can't get anything back, can it? They scoop it up anyways. They were struggling to hit their land drops. That was kind of a weird game for both of us. Yeah, our tempo was weird there, and they were just missing land drops, so they elected to quit. Next game. All right, not a terrible first game. I think we would have figured that out either way, but it would have taken us a while. I can't lie. The hand was awkward. The fact that we didn't get any actual green mana that was fast, and we were sitting on two of these was pretty tough. But this is pretty similar, to be honest. But at least turn 2 Moon Dancer seems like the play, followed by Skyclave. Or maybe even just a cram session. Yeah, this is definitely a keepable hand. A little slow. Actually, it's not that slow. There we go. We got our mill plan here. Got our Pestilent Cauldron. Love to see it. Love to try to add in little extra win cons where I can, you know? Let's get the Moon Dancer in. I don't know what our opponent's up to just yet. Anytime we see, you know, these Temple of Dragons, kind of throws me for a loop. I'm not too sure. There's red and black mana showing so far. All right, that's interesting. All right, we got 3 mana here. Do we get the Cauldron out here and just start the milling, or do we try to get some creatures down to protect ourselves? I could go with the Pyre and the Soul Mender. That might be the right play. That might be the right play. That's probably the correct way to play. Let's hope we can get something going here. I may need to add some board sweepers in this deck. I don't know why I didn't think about that, but I don't know. Maybe... I don't know, I thought maybe we could just keep... The fact that we gained so much life in this deck, I thought maybe... it's not really needed, but... I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, so we pay 2. I haven't used this card before, by the way. This will be the first time I'm using it. Sacrifice a creature. Search your library for a creature card that shares the... Okay, so we actually get to choose. We actually get to choose. So I'm going to activate this ability before I use this. And we're going to go for... kind of want Moon Dancer, to be honest. But I think this is gonna do more for me for the time being. I may have to take out these lands. Like, it's so funny, man. I throw in these little special lands here. I only have 3 of them. I have 1 of these and 2 of these. And you would think, oh, you know, they're gonna come up once in a blue moon. Both games we've had both of them. It's like, come on, Shuffler. That's not how statistics work usually. Usually. I know in Arena Land it does, but... Asika's Chariot, okay. Okay, here we go. Some fun plays ahead of us here, so. Here's where things get fun with the Clerics deck, right? When you get the Skyclave down with other Clerics and you have a Pyre out, that's when things get really fun. Granted, I can't use the Pyre this turn. I'm gonna have to wait 1 turn to start using it, but I can start sacrificing things like my Cleric, and you know, I can go get a Valkyrie, and then from there, so on and so forth. Let's just hope they don't kill my Skyclave just yet. Let's hope not. Okay, this works okay for me. We're gonna have to sacrifice a creature, which triggers my Skyclave. So there's some fodder to block with, at least for a turn. It doesn't necessarily answer the problem of the Avatar dealing 3 every time it attacks, but man, these like Jund and Gruul decks with, you know, anytime you can pair up an Outlaw with a Sentinel, it's so good. It is so good. I'm actually not going to block because I need to sacrifice this to this. I'll take the 3. I think we'll be all right. More mana is good. Let's go here. I might go a little quiet here because I'm really thinking about this next player. I think I'm gonna go here again, and then here. The Moon Dancer is gonna have the ability to scry for us here, which is really helpful. It also gets the +1/1 counters on both of these. Doesn't help too much though to it's not bad. Man, I'm going through it right now. Really going through it in my brain. Not too sure how to play this, to be honest. Cram Session is really nice to just get that blast of 4, you know, life gain, which is really helpful. This is also lifelink, so swinging in with this makes sense, but also blocking with it to get back a 2/2 over getting this back. No, I think attack's the way to go. I don't think we block with the Skyclave ever and risk it dying unless we have a Valkyrie in the bin. It's really the only way I can see myself doing that. Why did this not get the +1/1 counter? I'm curious. Whenever another cleric enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Whenever you gain life for the first time each turn. Oh, I gain life the first. Okay. That was my first time gaining life. Okay, got it. All right, well, at least we can block now the Avatar. No problem. I'm actually really happy that they sacrificed the Asika's cats to do what they did. All right, here we go. We're going to start it off. start it off with this. Started off with this. We're gonna go find ourselves the Valkyrie because that's the important part, right? Once the Valkyrie's on the field, now we can start getting weird, right? I could play the Cleric's life spawn and gain 2 life off of it. Or I could cram session for 4 life. Cram session for 4 life and scry. This is tough. This is tough. This is tough. Let's see what they do with this information. If they double block the Skyclave, I'm actually going to be a little upset. I'm not going to lie. I hope they don't. I don't think they will, but that would be a little bad for us. I need that Skyclave to stay alive. Okay, cool. I didn't think they were going to. It would have been the smart block for sure, though. Looks like they might still. No, they don't. Okay. They let me gain the 3 life, which triggers the Moon Dancer. More land, not really necessary right now. Still got a tough decision to make here, though. I don't think milling them is the way to go here because they're so aggressive. I think what I'm going to end up doing here is gaining 4 life. And what else? Wouldn't mind grabbing this to kill their Asika's Chariot. Because once that Asika's Chariot starts, you know, coming down and creating copies of that avatar is when we're really going to lose this game. So I think it's important here to get rid of that Asika's Chariot as soon as I possibly can. If they were smart, they'd be bringing it down now, but I don't know. We'll see. Nope, they still swing in with the gold spans. They care more about the treasures than they do the Asika's Chariot copying the avatar, which I find a little weird. They're leaving their avatar back. They're playing this very weird. I definitely think they should have double blocked our Skyclave last turn and then used our Asika a lot more, but they've really been kind of playing what I feel like is a much more cautious game. I don't know. All right, we're gonna go Valkyrie here. Don't need another one of those. Cleric's a life spawn. We're gaining double life now on everything that enters the battlefield, so it's huge. Huge, huge, huge. I don't need that. Gotta be smart about what we put on top here. I don't think land is the call. All right. Now we go here. Good luck with the 9-9, huh? Good luck with the 9-9. All right, your Magda's gone. I've got the Pyre still, which is so helpful because we could Pyre things like the Skyclave next turn, and we could even go grab, you know, our Vampire. But there's nothing really great to grab with the sacrifice that the Skyclave would make. If one of these Valkyries dies, that would be a pretty sweet play. I may just do that. I may just sacrifice a Valkyrie here to one of these gold spans. I don't know. Is that smart? Maybe. All right. I don't think they have what it takes to sacrifice that this turn, unless I'm missing something. So that's an easy chump block at least. Trying to use my own creature to kill me, huh? Dirty, underhanded plays. I like it. My kind of plays, to be honest. All right, here we go. Here's where the fun starts. We gotta do some math. Yeah, buddy. Love some math. All right, I think the obvious block here. Well, actually, hold on. Is that obvious? Yeah, it is. And then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 damage there on deck coming in. Yeah, I might want to just block one of these with the Valkyrie to be safe. And then next turn we can do some sacrificing and whatnot. So 2 blockers. This, I hope this works out. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if it's going to. don't know if it's going to. All right, things are about to get really weird. All right, let's bring back a cleric. We got a pretty big Moon Dancer coming back to our side of the field here on this turn, so cleric is fine. Oh, they had a deadly dispute. Why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think of that? I didn't think of all those treasures being generated. Didn't matter though. I was still gonna go cleric of the life bond, I think. But yeah, I just didn't think that they had anything to sacrifice that with when it was right in front of me. I don't know why I didn't see the treasures being generated from the gold spans. Yeah, this is when I'm really wishing I had Doomscar, but oh well. All right, how are we gonna do this? Let's go. So we sacrifice the Skyclaves this turn to get our big vampire, at the same time bringing back a righteous Valkyrie. Interesting. I wonder how all those are going to trigger though. Let's go here. Gain some life first. All right, we gain some life. Opponent's out of cards in hand, which is super helpful, but at the same time, that means they're going to start getting serious with that Asika's Chariot. Oh, they're going for another dragon. That makes sense. Search your library for an artifact or dragon card. They get a Predator. Okay. All right. Skyclave down. Get the Valkyrie in. Get the Bloodchief in. There we go. There we go, baby. There we go, baby. And this, my friends, is how the cleric deck really works. All right. I was wondering how those triggers were gonna happen, but I guess that's how they happen. GG's, my friend. I wasn't sure if we were gonna get the Valkyrie first before we got to go search our deck for the Bloodchief. I knew if we could get it in that order, it would turn out something like this. Obviously, I didn't know it was gonna be that great, but 42 life. But yeah, that works out. GG, my friend. Holy cow, what a turn of events we had on our opponent there. Talk about a comeback. That's the Pyre Skyclave mix, man. Those two cards together, once they get going, it is wild. All right, we got a Pyre early. And we've got some really nice curves, so I'm going to keep this. Obviously, Moon Dancer's a dead card at the moment. We need some green, but we should be able to find it, I hope. Going first never hurt either. All right, Evolving Wilds. That's pretty interesting. You don't see that too often. I've tried that in a couple of my decks, and it just never seems to work, so. All right, definitely going to go Pyre here. And I'm going to tap for life gain. Tap for life gain, and then next turn, I think I'm going to get down the Valkyrie, and then Pyre the Valkyrie. We've got a really good starting few turns here, man. We are drawing the way we need to draw. It's looking really nice. So we go black because we need double black for our Vampire, our Bloodchief, and we go Valkyrie. All right, still gain some life with this Soulbender if I can. Next turn is where things really start to come together for us. All right, so they got the Legion Angel, which is tough because those are for a power, and I don't want to block those until we get the pumps from the Valkyrie. You know what I mean? So that's gonna be tricky. All right, I'm really happy we drew land there, because now what I can do is I can actually play one of these first and then pop the Pyre, because we didn't have enough mana to do both. That way we trigger the Valkyrie's life gain first before we lose it. So let's see. Do we play the Moon Dancer? I think that's the play, right? I mean, it's got to be the play, right? Moon Dancer, gain 2. It doesn't matter because we're going to go Pyre next, right? So the scry doesn't really matter, so because we're going to reshuffle. Let's do the Valkyrie now because we can't attack through the Legion Angel anyways. All right. And now we're good to go, my friends. So the combo is on deck now. We've got the Skyclave comboed with the Pyre, and we got a Valkyrie in the bin. That's really the 3 conditions we need there for this deck to be absolutely busted. And I mean, here we are. Things are about to get weird for our opponent. Very, very weird for our opponent here. Next turn, we can play the Skyclave Cleric and gain, you know, a 2 life off of it hitting the battlefield, and then we can sack it to get another Valkyrie. Oh, it's gonna be so good. It's going to be good, my friends. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 life total. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Another Legion Angel. Sure, we knew that was coming. Sure. A little bit of life gain, why not? Are you going to out life gain me though? Probably not. Probably not, my friend. That's cool, but not something we can really use right now. Plus, we'll get it back when we sack that later. So, all right. Well, I'm thinking I need more land though, so I may play this as a land and just play this and then do what I just said. So let's go land. I was hoping to top deck a land. Let's go Impassioned Orator. Let's get back a Valkyrie. Boom. And now it's, like I said, gonna get weird. No attacks. Tap for 1 life gain. We're gonna take 8 in the sky here. It's all good. We get back the Valkyrie next turn. We get back the Blood Chief. So we're gonna get double triggers like we just saw that last game. The way that last game ended is how we're about to do this next turn here. So unless our opponent can kill us here, they're in a lot of trouble next turn. I mean, a Doomscar would be pretty detrimental to us, but even then I would still get some value out of that because of our Skyclave that's on the field. So it would ultimately favor me to get a play like that, but still not something I want to see. Not something I really want to like gamble with. No land, so no Doomscar. And it's another Innkeeper, sure. All right, we're about to come over the top with a Valkyrie for 6. Or we can leave them back to block with. I mean, we have options, but they're not going to like this next play. They're not going to like it. I really wish they would have attacked with something down low so I could have blocked with the Soul Mender, because having a one mana creature in the graveyard to bring back when these things die, like these 2-drops die, it's kind of nice. But all right, do they have another Innkeeper? No. Here we go. Gain a life. Scrap. Oh my goodness. Can I say yes, please? All right. This just got even crazier. We have just enough mana to do it too. All right, Valkyrie down. We might be at 100 life total after this play. 14 is where we started. Let's keep that in mind, okay? 14 is where we started. Let's see where we end up at. Let's see where we land on. All right. So we go from 14 to what? 14. It doesn't matter what we scry to because we're going for the Blood Chief here. There we go. 14. Oh, Cram Session's fun, but I think we could do better. I already have one of those. That's pretty cool. 14 to 50. So 14 to 50, and now we've got some big chunky boys out here that you might want to block. Oh man, what a busted deck this can be. This thing can do some really busted things. Keep in mind, Drana, the Blood Chief, can... Oh, let me get out of the way. It says whenever it deals or attacks a defending player, whenever it attacks, it doesn't even have to deal damage. I can return cards from my battlefield, or from my graveyard to the battlefield with additional counters on it. So good luck with that one. I hope they let us play this through, man. I want to see how much life I can gain here. All this scrying, though, they might just leave the game. Let's get a cleric out here. We were at 14 life total, guys. 14. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And we got a cauldron on top. Imagine if we could one-shot him with a cauldron. What if that's our win con, guys? What if we win with the one-shot cauldron? That would be sick. Ah, we already won. I don't want to be a jerk. I could totally only swing in with the Valkyries here. Like 2 Valkyries so they can block it with their Legion Angels. And then I could try to one-shot them with the cauldron next turn. That would be hilarious. That would actually be hilarious. Let's see where we end up here, though. This will be really interesting to see. Can we hit 200 life total? Can we do it? 171. Good game, my friend. Good game. I'm happy they let us go through all of that, though. I'm very happy they let us go through all that. Oh, that was a good time. That was a really good starting hand, though. Like a really good starting hand. Ah, good game, brother. Man, I had way too much fun with that one. Way too much fun with that one. I'm sick, man. I'm sick. All right, let's go with a keep on this one for sure. Here we go. Maybe we can get a Pestilent Cauldron win on this one. We get to go first. We have a Pestilent Cauldron and we have the green mana to cast everything. So I'm definitely going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. All right, Cauldron next turn. And then our opponent looks like they're on some control stuff. Okay, some is it stuff. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of control aspects of their deck. So the Cauldron is definitely something. Oh, actually, hold on. Cauldron is an artifact. Cauldron's an artifact. They do have Prismari Command. It definitely could get blown up. And there is some incentive for this Cleric's Life Bond to get bigger this turn. Ah, so tough. Okay. I'm gonna send it. This is the wrong play. I want everyone to be very clear when I say that this was the incorrect play. Because things like I said, Prismari Command blows up the Pestilent Cauldron, and at the same time could kill for 2 damage the Clerics of the Life Bond. If I played another Cleric there, this would have got to 3 toughness. It would have avoided the damage from the Prismari and survived, and the Cauldron would have been safe. But I chose the wrong play on purpose because I'm greedy and I'm trying to show off what this deck could potentially do. You feel me? All right. So it didn't die. So that's good. That's good. And another Cleric is pretty good. I think we can do better. I think we can do better. We gotta land, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta land. All right, let the milling begin. Let the milling begin. This whole idea of the Pestilent Cauldron is totally like a win more idea. Let me be very clear about that. But it's a very fun idea. Very fun. Because it does things like this. Are you ready? Gain some life. Ready? Boom, boom, boom. Oh, that's a good keep. 100%, that's a keep. And then it does this. Gain 4. Boom, 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 boom. And then we can go for cram session. We'll probably go for an environmental sciences, believe it or not. Oh, they stop it. Okay. Didn't expect that. A little annoying, to be honest. All right, let's hope that they don't like somehow board wipe me. That's an interesting card to see. Mind Flayer. All right, you've piqued my interest. So who's really running the weird deck here, me or them? My apologies, my throat just decided to give out. Well, that was a win. That was an easy win. We'll take those all day. Easy wins are nice. All right. Well, I was hoping to give you guys a little more action on that one, especially with the Cauldron, but opponent didn't have too many answers for much of what we had. Prismari Command was only a matter of time. That Cauldron would have been gone. So that definitely isn't the matchup for it, but... All right, we have another Cauldron in the opening hand. I may just keep it for that reason. This is a terrible hand to keep, by the way. I'm just playing bad Magic on purpose for your guys' entertainment. I hope you guys are cool with that. I hope we're all cool with that. Another Rakdos list. Okay, we've seen a lot of meta stuff today. Is it Rakdos? All right, let's see. I think what we're gonna do here is go with the Orator, right? Because it's gonna gain us the most life over time. Orator down. Rakdos is a good target though for these Cauldron plays, because they are going to have pretty solid defenses with things like Merchant. They're gonna get some, gold spans down for sure. They've also got some indestructibility with their predators and whatnot. So it's not like we're gonna get a whole lot of damage through their lines of defenses. So maybe setting up the Cauldron early and milling them out is a good way to go. We'll see. We'll see. The other side of Cauldron too, by the way, is Restorative Burst. Pretty cool. We get to return 2 target creatures from the graveyard to our hand, which is pretty nice. That's a 6/6 gold span, so things are looking pretty bleak for us if I'm actually being completely honest. No blocks. I don't want my Orator to die to a 1/1 when it can be gaining us life every turn. All right. Okay, that's a good top deck. That's a good top deck. All right, we can stop our opponent here from coming in with that 1/1, and at the same time we have life gain through the ability, our lifelink ability. So good. Gold span's still a serious problem though. Not 100% sure. Oh, that's even worse. All right, what's worse than 1 gold span? I don't know. 2 gold spans. And 2 gold spans that are 6/6s. All right, well, it looks like we're gonna end this on a loss. It is what it is. I mean, if we're playing poker, that's the nut flush right there. They absolutely destroyed us. They destroyed us. All right, I think too though that was pretty good that was a quick game because we were running a little short on time. But all right, guys, we're gonna have to wrap it up there with some final thoughts. We'll see you guys at the end. Peace. That's gonna do it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this list. It is a absolute nutty deck, and I really enjoyed it a lot. It just does some really explosive and powerful things. Obviously, I think this deck could be better. There are decks and versions of this list going around that are pure Orzhov. I'm sorry, yeah, Orzhov. I'm trying to think of the deck, and it definitely was Orzhov. Cut the green. Throw just straight Orzhov in here, add some removal, add some other, cards in here. Shatter the Skies won't hurt because you're going to be bringing things back from the graveyard with your Sky Claves. There are some things you can do to this deck, obviously, to fine tune it to make it a killing machine. But my version, if we're going off of how I thought it played very well. I thought it had a lot of really cool, moments, and it did some really explosive things, and we really had a good time with it. We played against some really tough decks. Obviously we got ran through by those 2 Goldspan Dragons, but other than that we had a lot of fun and we were winning a lot of games with it. So as far as changing things, obviously I think Cauldron can go. I think you could take this out. It's a card we didn't get to showcase too much of. It's more of a theory at this point because I wasn't able to put it into practice, but the idea is there, and I think it's a lot of fun, especially if you can get this down on 1 turn and just surprise mill your opponent's entire deck. I think that'd be hilarious. But yeah, you can cut this, obviously. If you want to keep the Moondancer in for a splash of green, you could definitely do that. I don't see why not. It's a good addition to the deck. It's a very good cleric, and it keeps, like I said, those scries can really help in the long run of this deck because it has no card draw. You know what I'm saying? So being able to just go through your deck, 1 by 1, the way it allows you to do is really nice. So I think it's a good addition. It's good enough to keep green in here by itself, and the fact that it allows you to open up your sideboard to things like Containment Breach too is really helpful. So I would definitely keep that if you don't want to go pure Orzhov and do the same thing everyone else is doing. It's not a bad card to splash in here, but the rest of the deck in the shell is pretty much standard clerics, and it's busted, man. It does some really busted things. So feel free though, if you want to make this a little more competitive, cut the green and just go pure Orzhov. I'm gonna keep mine this way. I'm having a lot of fun with it, to be honest. But if you have any ideas on how to make this better, and if you have some really creative ideas like in ABZAN, keeping in ABZAN, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts if you have ideas on how to make it any better. But as always, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me as long as you have. Some final thoughts before I go. Huge shout out to you guys who have made it this far into the video. I really appreciate that so much. You guys help out the algorithm a lot here on YouTube and getting my videos pushed out to more people when you stay this long. So thank you. And secondly, thank you to my Marty Mob members. I really appreciate you guys as well, more so than you probably will ever know. The fact that you guys are, paid members on this channel and helping support the dream really means a lot. If you guys want to become paid members on the channel as well and become part of the Marty Mob, hit that join button down below. Hit the link in the description if you don't see the join button. It'll tell you all about what the Marty Mob offers, some exclusive content. But yeah, mostly, you're helping out the channel a lot with our growth and taking this thing full time. So thank you guys so much for everything you do. And very last thing I wanted to say is, like I said in the beginning, Innistrad comes out this week. It actually comes out this Thursday, which is my birthday, actually. I do work. Unfortunately, I work. So I will be getting home from work. And I mean, we're playing it by ear. We're getting home from work. I'm going to make the video as fast as I possibly can for the first day. It probably won't come out till Friday. So videos are probably going to be normally scheduled here. So it's going to be out on Friday. And then from Friday, we're going to go daily. So you're going to see one Saturday, Sunday, Monday, hopefully all the way through till next Friday. And then we'll go back to normal, 3 days a week. So really excited for that though. Keep an eye out for that. Make sure the notification bell's turned on, and I'll see you guys tonight for the live stream if you guys are up for it. And we'll see you guys there. We'll hang out, we'll talk, and yeah, see you there, guys. Peace out. Till next time.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. FTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. Where's the upload, man? Man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap.